Dan loves that one.
All right, if there's any meta glasses in the room.
All right, let's see if this happens. Let's see if this happens. Let's see. It says we're on. All right, let's record to the recording in progress. Let's see if that worked. A little louder? I don't think I can get it louder. I'll try. I'll try to get it louder. I hit it already, Johnny. I don't know if you're going to get it much louder than that. But they just got to be, they just got to calm down over there. Be quiet or you won't get your whiskey. Hey, everybody. I just wanted to point out that this is the last Whiskey Wednesday of 2025. What a way to go out. Our good friend Dan Loeser is here. He is the single malt specialist for White and Mackay, which also includes the whole entire lineup of Dalmore.
It does. It
does.
Yep. Dalmore is definitely our crown jewel. We also have Fettercairn whiskey for some of you who've maybe experienced it in independent bottling. This year was the first year we started selling Fettercairn, beautiful 200-year-old distillery in the Eastern Highlands.
Big fan of Fettercairn.
Fettercairn is a beautiful whiskey. We started this year a little high. We started here this year. The youngest expression we released this year, 24 year, then a 28, and then some rare options as well.
I wanted to keep the numbers down.
So, yeah. And then, of course, Jura, the Isle of Jura, a beautiful island whiskey, very unique. Tam Navulin, for those blend lovers, John Barr.
No, just to name a few.
Just to name a few.
Just to name a few.
I say you can. We're a small supplier spirits company with an extensive portfolio where you can stock your bar with anything as long as it's malt whiskey.
We're vastly expansive in a limited way.
Yeah. Quite
that makes sense.
Quite the scope of malt whiskeys.
Hey, Johnny, could you just check out and make sure that we're on Facebook just to make sure? Thank you. Up? I can't. It's all the way up. You guys are just gonna have to be really, really quiet while you sip your whiskey. That's all there is to it. All right. Listen, we got a lot of whiskeys to get to tonight. Chef Alina Eisenhower is here. Yeah, I know, really. We may want to start. We may want to start with her. Hopefully, she's got her first one ready to go. It's almost there. It's gonna be one of those nights. I can tell it right now. Well, for those to make you all feel better, there's supposed to be 3 expressions that she was going to pair food with. She did 4. So you got to, just, just sort of go with it. Okay. All right. All right. Tell us a little bit of what's going on with Dalmore this year while we're sort of like waiting for them to start putting food out.
Well, let's see. Not
to put you on the spot, but I just did.
Well,
thank you.
That's my job. Enter the spot. The Dalmore is doing better than ever. Still the fastest growing single malt in the U.S., which I think, if being honest about the whiskey in the United States and single malt in the United States, I think that's a tremendous compliment. The biggest news, we have these 2 beautiful releases this year. The other release this year for us was back in the spring. That was our Luminary number 3.
Okay.
Which was the final Luminary release this year. Tremendous whiskey, bottled at nearly 50% ABV, 7 different casks, including Calvados and 2 different styles of French wine cask and 2 styles of sherry cask and first fill American bourbon casks. A tremendous whiskey.
Not a cask you didn't use.
No, I know. We the root beer.
It's sort of a casting call.
And then outside of those tremendous releases. These tremendous releases, we've been on a 2.5 year overhaul of our distillery. So we've upgraded our whole visitor experience. We'll be ready to welcome guests in 2026 for an experience that will be sort of the pinnacle of hospitality for whiskey distillery visits. And we've also expanded our distillation capacity. So we have, since the 60s, when they doubled our stills from 4 to 8, we have doubled again. from 8 to 16. But we have a very unique set of stills at the Dalmore. It's an unbalanced system, so our stills are different sizes. It's a long story. But that has become very intrinsic to the style of the Dalmore, our smaller stills. And the taller stills get combined into our Spirit Safe. And what that creates is a new make that is really beautifully suited for very long maturation. And because of the unbalanced system, we couldn't just build 8 more of the same stills.
Right. To replicate that.
Exactly. So what they did, the people that do these things, it involved lasers. Is
It's always more fun when it involves
it
lasers.
involves when you get lasers involved in whiskey production. Those that do the lasers, did a full 3D scan of our existing still house.
Okay.
And over the last 2.5 years, they have built a full scale operating replica. So,
Wow.
so we are maintaining the integrity and the differentiation between the still sizes. They
Right
are,
down to the dents.
yeah, probably, most likely, yeah. I mean, there's we have flat top wash stills, we have copper cooling rings and jackets on our Spirit stills, and also the varying sizes. So it has been a very long process, and we're going to be, like I said, we'll be opening in 2026 to the public, and it is going to be quite an experience. We were supposed to go visit this year as a team, and they said no because they were not
No,
ready.
you can't visit yet. We're not ready.
So like we don't care. We don't.
We gotta
can see
clean
the
up a little bit.
scaffolding, and no, they didn't. They didn't want us to do that. So I'm excited to see it myself.
For you guys tonight, though, you're also going to get to. So this has become almost an annual occurrence. You're going to get to try the 2 new releases tonight.
Yeah, so
The 2 new releases, which we did last year's, was sort of showcased here too. So once again, you're going to be some of the first in the country, and definitely in Massachusetts, you have these first new releases.
Yeah, no, I can verify
3 of them.
that the people in this room right now trying the 2010
Except Frank.
2007, except Frank, you all are experiencing. I'll say from the because I'm all over the Northeast here. This is the first group in at least New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Massachusetts to try these whiskeys tonight. So very, very excited for you guys. And I also have to appreciate that you highlight these whiskeys. This is a very busy time of year for spirits,
Right.
and for whiskeys. And I really appreciate that we get to highlight these because they are so very, very special.
Is there any way we can get Chef Elena up here? She's still putting things together. She's yelling at me now. 2 minutes, okay. Well, let's delve into the first whiskey. At least try the whiskey before. You're not supposed to eat the things until we're ready, okay, guys? They're already on to 3. You guys, just so you know, everybody has a Dalmore glass. So if you want to take your sample and put it into that to sample, welcome to. And we also have everybody has water. If you need water, raise your hand. We'll get you some.
And if you could rinse those out when you're done. No, I'm just kidding.
But you can take them home with you.
These are all for you to take home.
Get to take them home.
And actually, I'll just talk about the glass really quickly.
Yeah.
This is a Copita. This is a sherry Copita. This is the type of, please, well, let's do this first. This is more important.
All right, let me bring your mic up so they can hear you. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
That's what the table sounds like.
No, flip them around. You get it the wrong way. Go around the mother. There you go. There you go. You're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. She's a professional, trained professional, folks. All right. So the first whiskey that I should point out, the first whiskey we're going to do is the Dalmore 12-year sherry wood. All right. But Chef, what did you put in for an accompaniment?
So for the 12-year, we have a puff pastry with aged Comté cheese, which is a French. It's a very nutty aged cow's milk cheese, slightly sweet with an apple compote with a little bit of thyme and a little bit of honey and a little bit of the 12-year in the apple compote.
Wow.
All right.
Yep.
You guys, you ready? All right, let's do this. Wow. I was going to be a Neanderthal, but I'll throw it in the glass.
Wow.
Even the nose.
It's tremendous. Yeah, the nose. I was going to say.
Even nosing in its experience with that. Very good. Oh, I like that a
That's
lot.
tremendous. Wow.
That's really good.
Wow.
Really good. Really good. Like I said, we're gonna get. I don't know how you're gonna do because now you have 3 back to back. You know that, right? Okay.
But the
So
last 2, they're already all plated. The hardest one is always second because I want
Right.
to do something warm for the second one. So
Right.
we wait till the last minute to plate it because I
Right.
want to keep it warm. But yeah,
all right.
Now,
We'll take it.
now you can have a drink.
Yeah.
right.
Have a drink.
I'm gonna go plate the second.
Okay, she's gonna go play.
You guys are
She's
gonna
busy.
drink
She's
whiskey.
well. Johnny, just keep feeding her whiskey while she's doing it. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. All right. Thank you, Johnny. All right. This 12. Who's had? Has anybody not had the Sherrywood before? Raise your hand if you haven't had it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this was an extension of the 12-year, and we have you guys all going home with a bottle of the Dalmore 12.
Mhm.
This is the Dalmore 12 Sherrywood. You
Yep.
want to explain a little bit of
Three casks.
Sherry cask?
Yeah.
You want to
Yep.
explain
Sure.
the difference?
And if you want to do a side by side, just drink out of the bottle that you are.
Don't have them do that. Dan,
I
I'm just going to point out.
know the.
I know you're being funny.
I know they'll do it.
Pull that mic in a little bit.
Um,
Pull your mic in a little bit.
oh, pull the mic in. I didn't want to hear all the chewing. My chewing. So we broadly released the Sherry Cask Select about 3-4 years ago as an addition to our 12-year lineup. It was a limited release and then moved on to a broad release. And if I'm not mistaken, it actually originated, the first release of it was for the Asian market.
Mhm.
This is a whiskey that if you were to, taste and don't do it, but if you were to taste the 12-year and the 12-year Sherry Cask Select side by side, there is quite a substantial difference. There's a 3% ABV bump, which is not necessarily tremendous, but the maturation on the 12-year you guys are taking home is first fill bourbon cask. All of the Dalmore always starts out in first fill bourbon casks, and then a portion of that gets moved into sherry casks.
Okay.
And these are, very particular sherry casks specific to our distillery, 30-year-old Methuselah casks from Gonzales Bias. With the 12-year Sherry Cask Select, we are then going after the bourbon. It is moved entirely into 3 different casks, 3 sherry casks from 3 different sherry producers in Spain that may be somewhat familiar if you follow where other single malt distilleries get their sherry casks. So Tavasa, Paez, and Vasima, all near Jerez, of course, or Jerez. And the aim, and I think the success of the Sherry Cask Select is to where the 12-year is very soft, very friendly, chocolatey, milk
Yeah.
chocolatey.
Milk chocolates. I remember always on that 12.
This Sherry Cask Select is giving you a little bit more vibrance in that share of the sherry. The ABV
It's got a depth
bump
too.
has
It's got a
that.
depth to it.
There's a depth to it. The oak is a little spicier. There is that sherry nuttiness on the nose. I think, it's a phrase it's a phrase that's used often in the whiskey world, but it definitely punches above its weight. You're getting for the more experienced single malt drinker at 12 years, you're getting much more depth, not more depth, but a bit more spice and expression from the sherry cask.
That nuttiness really played off on that cheese and
Isn't that
Chef-
great? And
Chef,
the apple on it as
yeah,
well.
really
Yeah,
good.
I've never really pulled apple off of that until I did
Yeah.
these side by side. And the funny thing is about the Sherry Cask Select, it's an incredibly popular whiskey for us. It's the one bottle in our entire lineup that says sherry in big letters on the front of the box. And the irony there is that every single whiskey that we're going to try tonight, with the exception of the Portwood Reserve, every single whiskey is a sherry cask matured whiskey.
It depends on how much though. I mean, it is at varying degrees.
True. Yeah. I mean, so this sees 4 different casks, and everything on the table sees a minimum of 2. So people see that and they go, "Oh, that's the one that's in sherry." And I go, "Well, it's a long story, but no."
I don't mean to correct you. But let me
it's my
let me
job to correct
explain that
you.
to you.
So
Yeah,
um,
I actually get paid to correct you.
yeah,
Thank you.
don't
great.
take this the wrong way,
But you're wrong.
You're very wrong. Yeah. No, it's such a satisfying drink, and it's a terrific price point for any expression really, and is so satisfying.
Yeah, we'll go over that. We'll go over that later tonight. Just start marking down which ones you like because they're all going to be on deal tonight.
Terrific.
All right. We're going to start on the only one that doesn't contain. Now that we've done the sherry,
Now we've talked about the sherry.
let's forget about that. We'll do the only one that has no sherry in it.
Yeah.
Which is the Portwood.
Portwood Reserve.
You guys may want to start handing out the next food. Johnny's yelling at me already. Yeah, like no duh, Ryan. Okay. All right. Wait a minute. I think I have one of those. Do I have one of those? Maybe we'll go right to it because let's see. Yeah, this one.
Well, duh.
It's my daughter's. All right. So the next one is the Portwood.
Yeah.
Now this has been extremely popular.
Yeah.
I mean, since inception,
Mhm.
this is really good. Because to be honest with you, there isn't a lot of Portwoods that hit the way this does at this price point.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. I couple of reasons for that. When it comes to the maturation,
Do this.
and this goes for every expression of the Dalmore, we are we're about whiskey first, and then we're about wine second, which means that when our casks go into wine casks, it matters not just the style of wine that happened to have been in those casks, but how important those casks were to the people who made the wine. And with our Portwood Reserve, it highlights, it's the beginning of this highlight of our relationship with Graham's.
Yeah.
So we are the only distillery that has access to casks, port casks from Graham's. So again, not just talking about port wine that went into a barrel and was seasoned and then kind of was dumped out after a year or whatnot. Not that there's anything wrong with that, different style.
Well, it's a different philosophy too.
It is. And
there's nothing wrong with it. And if
No.
listen, if you're just trying to get that feeling of the wine cask and stuff like that, there's nothing wrong with that.
No,
but
you're going to get that flavor profile.
you'll get a flavor profile, but it does start affecting the depth when you use something that really was important to the wine, like you said.
Yeah.
And you really use the one that's really sort of been soaking in it for like years. You do sort of get a richer sort of final product that way.
I agree completely. There's a greater depth, and it really, the real telling factor for me is the finish.
Although the nose on this is no slouch either.
No. The casks that we use for the Portwood Reserve, it's not an age statement. It is 12 to 15 years old. The whiskey in that bottle is 12 to 15 years old. And I
think it's important, like for this one, especially to say that, because non-age statement could be all over the place.
To be all over the place.
But in this case, it happens to be 12
to 15. The window to 12 to 15. And for us, with our non-age statement whiskeys, it is less about not wanting to put a number on it and more about, again, speaking to those casks.
Right.
We get casks that were, like I said, important to those winemakers, which means they weren't thinking of us when they put the wine in the casks. And that means that some casks, whether from a flavor profile or from a color perspective,
right,
may be more or less expressive. So from Graham's, only distillery to get casks from Graham's, and for the Portwood Reserve, and for other expressions in the principal collection that utilize port casks, they're specifically the casks that Graham's used to make their 10-year tawny port.
Which is cool because you can walk upstairs and buy one of those bottles right now.
And we are,
and that's not always the case of
very rare
cask you guys use.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily mean you can go and get that bottle because some of them are just astronomically priced. They're not even available in the US.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
that's Graham's Tawny Port 10. You can go upstairs and should be in stock right now.
Graham's 10-year tawny. Tawny being, I think the operative word when it comes to the sherry style, because there's ruby port and there's tawny port. Ruby port is in cask for a very limited amount of time, and tawny is the aged cask. So that means the aged port, which means that has spent 10 years maturing in oak, minimum. And we are, to my knowledge, the only distillery that you can consistently drink the whiskey alongside wines that used the same barrels.
Barrels. Yeah.
Which again is not disparaging other distilleries and other maturation styles, but to get a bottle of Graham's 10-year tawny, which is a beautiful wine if you enjoy port, and have it alongside this whiskey, it is a tremendous experience.
I should point out to you, during this holiday season, you're out buying stuff. May I suggest, if you're all whiskey drinkers here, obviously you came to this tasting, right? The thing that I'd point out to you is to get a fortified wine this holiday season. I don't care if it's something that goes into something, sherry, port, Madeira, Marsala.
Mm-hmm.
Buy a bottle of one of those things, because without those, we don't get beautiful things like this.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
And if you don't drink those things, they don't produce more.
Yeah.
All right. It's a system. It's a cycle. And all of those things need to come in play. So, and by the way, if you've never had like a tawny port, a 10-year-old tawny port, or even ruby port, you really owe it to yourself to do so.
Yeah.
It's delicious. I got my wife started on this, and every Christmas, now it's more times a year than that, but I have to come home with a bottle of port.
Yeah.
But it's great.
And those styles, the ports, tawny and ruby, sherries, and if you're sort of any sherry drinkers in the room, that's great. That's more hands than I usually
Yeah,
do.
yeah, absolutely. We want to thank both of you.
Yeah.
No, I'm just teasing.
Yeah.
There was a lot more than that.
I would recommend starting with a cream style sherry. Harvey, everyone knows like cream sherry and Harvey's Bristol cream, and maybe have memories of a relative who drank it. It was the sweet wine and whatnot. Or drink too much of it skiing. Yeah, that's the right wine for it. But it's tremendous, and it is really a beverage for the season. You drink it and it reminds you of Christmas, even if you've never had it.
What do you guys think of this one? Portwood, you like it? Good. All right. So number 3 is the Cigar Malt Reserve that we're going to try. What's the question?
Well, this goes with the cigar malt.
This one goes with the cigar malt. We just had to get it out so we'd have it. Well, yeah, but you're eating. Okay, like you're eating it now, so you just drink the cigar malt. Everything will be okay. Don't worry about it.
I think I'm not on. Am I on?
Oh, you're not on. Hold on, Chef. There you are. You're on now.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Oh, the ABV. Oh, was that Lisa? Yeah, Lisa. When you were up here before, couldn't you have taken them all down? Just teasing her. All right. So what do we have to drink with the cigar malt?
To eat with a cigar.
To eat. Sorry.
So you have duck sausage with black lentils and Magolio syrup, which is a syrup made from pine cone resin. And it's just like the tiniest bit of sweetness and kind of like earthy forest. Yeah, which the cigar malt can stand up to.
Wow.
And then the kind of fat and the richness from the duck.
Oh, that duck sausage is amazing.
And on top is a little bit of micro broccoli.
That's a micro broccoli.
Got to give you some greens somewhere.
Yeah. It's your salad. There you go. Now you're healthy.
Yeah.
There's a really great. There's a little bit of a sweetness in the sausage as well, which is.
It's actually the syrup too on top.
Okay.
The pine syrup that's
Yeah.
on top has a little bit of. It's made by packing pine cones with sugar. You pack. You can buy it from Italy. It's very expensive.
Really?
I happen to have made a whole bunch of it this summer.
You had nothing to
So-
do, did you?
You take green pine cones and you pack them with sugar, and you let them sit, and it pulls all the resin out of the pine cones and creates a syrup with the sugar. And yeah,
I love
it's very
that.
good with game.
Wow, it's delicious.
That is tremendous.
Did you try it, Frank? Is it all right? All right. Yes, miss.
Mugolio. It's Mugolio.
And that's really nice. And okay, so there's a lot of like talk about cigar malts,
Mm-hmm.
right? This
More now
goes
than
like,
ever, yeah.
but it's just like, and this is like the fattiness of this with the cigar malt.
Mm-hmm.
It just plays so well.
Mm-hmm.
And cigar malt, I mean, this is the granddaddy of malt. I mean, I don't think anybody used the term cigar malt before Dalmore did.
Yeah.
Now, this is a very different cigar malt than when they originally started.
Yep.
But really, what it has come to mean is this is going to be like a very rich, sort of depth-driven
Mm-hmm.
whiskey.
Yep. Yeah. That's
That is it, and you have to have something like what Chef put together.
Yeah.
That sort of like counter acts with that.
Yeah. I think I say that I think the cigar malt. I think all of our whiskeys pair tremendously with food, owing to the relationship to wine. But the cigar malt in particular, because generally when you're cooking things, there is heat, there's a bit of spice, often there's a
Right.
bit of smoke, and the flavor profile was created initially to accompany a cigar, right? Spice and smoke and heat, and
It was really to stand up to the
Mhm.
cigar. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
it was sort of it wasn't supposed to blend with the cigar. It was supposed to be enough force and enough flavor there to like stand up
balance it
against
out. Yeah, yeah. I mean, to put it very plainly, you could almost say it's
the muscling.
it's yeah, or it's the peanut butter, the chocolate,
Right.
Which is why I think it needs something like, rich and fatty.
Yeah.
Rich and fatty,
Crispy.
definitely. Yeah, absolutely does.
Yeah, for sure. And so for those reasons, while the cigar malt pairs beautifully with a cigar, it is a tremendous pairing for food. This is phenomenal.
It's my
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah.
The cigar melt's my favorite. All right, I'm gonna go get you guys some more
Okay,
food.
we have more food. Yeah. Well, why not? I'm gonna take her down again. It's not sitting there. I it's so funny like how the term cigar malt in cigar bourbons and even in cognacs
Mhm.
and armagnacs and stuff like that, it is sort of permeated across
Yeah.
the thing, and there's no
And how
definition.
everybody is approaching it
Yeah,
differently.
there's a different approach, and my thought thing was always that it had to be big and bold. I mean, at the end
Mhm.
of the day, it has to have all these other flavors going. It has to have depth. It has to be muscled. It's
Yeah.
and it's gotta have depth. It's gotta have substance.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think the expectation often with the cigar malt is one that it's going to be smoky because it says cigar on it.
Well, yeah, and that's the exact
we,
opposite.
We
Listen,
don't
yeah.
sell any peated malts here. No,
Right.
these are peated malts. And actually, the original the germ of the idea for the cigar malt came when Richard Patterson, this back in the 90s, was recognized out in public and he was smoking a cigar, and he is a fan of fine cigars.
Mhm.
And he was sent a whiskey, and someone sent him a peated malt. And he thought, well, that's
Like with like.
that's like with like,
Right.
and then you think of the spirits that were conventionally enjoyed alongside cigars: cognacs, armagnacs,
Right.
brandies, things that have that are round, fruit forward, that balance out that smoke and that spice.
Big
And
bold flavors, but not necessarily smoke and flame.
no,
Heat.
kind of just going in the
Yeah,
other
opposite
direction,
direction,
so
yeah.
balancing it out. And so that was the sort of the germ of the cigar malt. The maturation story on it has changed somewhat over the years. And so and it was a limited release, and then it sold out, and it was limited release, and then there was a period of time when no brands wanted to be associated with any tobacco products. So
Yes, that happened.
so it was bottled for a while under Grand Reserva. And then nobody bought it because it said Grand Reserva and it wasn't a cigar malt. Beautiful whiskey if you can find a bottle of Grand Reserva, and I got a bottle. It's terrific. And in 2015, it found its way back into our regular release in a principal collection. So another non-age statement. This is 15 to 18 years old. and the maturation on it is the first fill bourbon, the 30-year-old Matusalem Oloroso sherry casks. Those are exclusive casks that we get from Gonzalo Spias. Those are from Solera. I say 30-year Matusalem because they are the casks that are used to make a bottling of the 30-year-old Matusalem style sherry from Gonzalo Spias. And we introduce a third style of cask with the Cigar Malt Reserve, which is Bordeaux casks from Chateau Marbouzet. Again, not just a red wine cask, but Bordeaux casks from a very specific producer, Chateau Marbouzet. That producer is known for maturing their Bordeaux's longer than most other producers. So that is
And highly sought after and hard to
and
get.
highly sought after and not very easy to find. And that extended maturation for the Bordeaux casks is terrific for us because that's just more wine in the barrels.
Right.
Yeah. And those Bordeaux casks, if you have not finished your taste of the Cigar Malt Reserve, have a sip. Notice the fruit on the front, that roundness and that fruit on the front, and then pay attention to the finish after you've finished your sip. Pay attention to this back of the palate here. More than any other whiskey that's on this table tonight, your mouth will start watering. It happens to me every single time, and that's a quality that makes it a terrific compliment for a cigar because it helps keep your palate moist, and you
Right.
know you get
Which
kind of
does dry
dry
out.
palate
Right,
while
right.
you're smoking a cigar. But again, it is also what makes it a terrific accompaniment to food because it kind of keeps your mouth watering and as you're enjoying the whiskey alongside food.
I mean, one of the reasons that we did ask Chef Alina to when we first started doing these to actually do these is because it's still sort of a thing. I don't think everybody sort of gets that food with whiskey thing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's still like
before or after.
yeah, that type of thing where it can be
It's very
during.
sad.
It's really sad.
Yeah.
Yes, it is really sad.
Yeah, I before I was working for the Dalmore, which has been over 4 years now. I was that, and it wasn't until working with the Dalmore and enjoying it as much as I do that which I had enjoyed it plenty before I was working for the company, but then I realized what a terrific spirit whiskey can be
Right.
in the right ways with food and the right food.
All right. So now this is one of my favorites. We're going to do the King Alexander.
Oh boy.
So for this one with the pairing,
Mm-hmm.
I would suggest that your pairing for this is, I like to think of this one kind of like a bridge between we did the savory stuff and then with the last one is a sweet. This is kind of both savory and sweet. So this is dark chocolate with olive oil ganache. So instead of using cream or butter in the ganache, it is equal parts chocolate and olive oil, which you wouldn't expect. It's a fruity olive oil from an estate in Greece. It's my favorite olive oil, and paired with the dark chocolate, and then a little tiny flake of Malden sea salt on top. And I would suggest taking the mousse, letting it melt on your tongue, and then having a sip of the whiskey and seeing that it's going to extend the flavor of the whiskey.
Am I okay
Yeah.
with this one, Chef? For my nut allergy?
You are.
All right.
Yeah, the chocolate brings out the cocoa and the spice notes. The olive oil is like adds silkiness and fruitiness to
Well,
it.
and the chocolate is so floral.
Yeah.
And it is a quality that I always call out for the King Alexander, which is it just is floral. The whiskey itself, I find so floral on the nose.
Just the nose on these two, like it doesn't scream chocolate. It screams like garden, like flower garden.
Wow.
There's
Olive oil.
right. That's insane.
Wow. My favorite pairing, I still think of it from last year, was the one you did with the King Alexander as well.
I just said that tonight. I said I think my favorite tonight is the bonus again.
All right. Did you guys sort of try that together and let it
Wow.
sort of melt
Wow.
and drink the whiskey?
Wow.
I had a flower stuck in my tooth now, but that's okay. Wow. Wow. That just keeps going too.
What a treat.
Draws it.
Dries it. It does draw it out.
Mhm.
Wow.
If you're ever, this is a special tasting. I mean, what you're trying tonight and this putting together, this isn't just having chocolate with whiskey. This is a different type of experience.
Mhm.
But that being said, does anybody need any more water, John? John, if anybody need any more water? That being said, if ever there is a doubt of what to have with whiskey, and you're like, I don't even know what to start with. Chef Alina did all these like crazy things. I don't even know what to do. Chocolate, dark chocolate with whiskey is just one of those classic pairings. It always goes. It's not, you're not going to get this flavor combination, but it will work. All right. So if you don't know, thank you. Oh, this is, you got your perfect pairing. All right. So
I will say, in executing my role for the Dalmore for White and Mackay, I do countless dinners throughout the year, pairing dinners, and
wow.
every year there are no pairings as thoughtful as these. We are very
Thank
privileged
you.
to be able to have these. It's really
Thank
really
you, Chef
tremendous.
Lynn. We
Thank you
do
so much.
appreciate it.
You're welcome. I love it. It helps that I like whiskey.
Yeah, it does. It really
does
Yeah,
help.
It really does.
It really does help.
All right, I'm gonna go grab the last one.
All right. Now you got one more. This was the bonus one, by the way. This wasn't the one that was advertised. And every single time she does this, the one that she doesn't, it's like it's a perfect pair. It's a perfect pair.
Wow,
This is one of those perfect pairs.
And the King Alexander, and I remember saying this last year with the pairing. It's tricky to pair things with the King Alexander
Right.
because it's a very delicate whiskey. It's very elegant. It's
You can overpower it.
you can overpower it, and it's not because people will have this after it's the third, fourth, whichever one it is in a lineup if we're doing a tasting, and then people say it's light, and it's and I will push back a little bit on that and not
It's
say that
complicated.
it's light. It's very expressive, but it's very delicate. And
Right.
It's really elegant. I always think of like fine lace when I
But that's what I'm saying. It's not that being light doesn't mean it's not complicated.
Sure. Yeah.
It is complicated. There's a
It's
lot
not-
of stuff going on in there, but
not-
it's not hitting you. It's a soft caress instead of hitting you over the head with
That's
a
it.
mallet.
That's it. And
know.
and for the whiskey, it's a tremendous
Frank
accomplishment.
likes getting hit over the head with a mallet. I don't know what it is, but you know what I'm saying? It's just it's
Yeah.
just sort of a different approach to whiskey.
Yeah. And
It's a special whiskey.
and for a whiskey that it's interesting. We've hit like all of our non-age statements like all in a row. So the whiskeys in here, there's a range. It's 15 to 20 years old. That's quite a range, but and this is a testament to this whiskey and our whiskey makers. This whiskey sees 6 different casks, whiskeys from 6 different casks in the King Alexander. So it's first fill bourbon casks. It's the 30-year-old sherry casks. We're seeing casks from Graham's as well, the 10-year tawny port casks. And then we're seeing Cabernet Sauvignon Barrique and additional, like you mentioned these wines earlier, Madeira and Marsala casks as well in this.
Well, that's why I said you got to drink some of those.
Yeah.
Help us out.
Yeah. Yeah. Drink those wines, please.
No, help us out.
Yeah. Yeah. And so,
This is amazing.
yeah, what a surprise, so elegant and what a tremendous pairing.
I didn't even turn it down. You're still on. So I knew you were coming back up. What'd you guys think? First of all, what'd you think of that pairing? Yeah. Right. Amazing. What did you think of the whiskey? Yeah. Really good. That's really good. There's very few whiskeys that are like King Alexander. It's like people go, well, I like King Alexander, but what else you have that's like King Alexander? I have to go, nothing. That's it's not a sits on its own.
Yeah, I've introduced a lot of people to the Dalmore through King Alexander, and then I tell them, well, now
I've ruined it.
spoiled
I've ruined it.
Yeah,
I've ruined it.
because that's its own special thing. And the King Alexander, the namesake of King Alexander, is where I would be remiss if I didn't bring this up. That gentleman, King Alexander III, is the reason that we have the stag on our bottles. He bestowed on the Clan Mackenzie back in 1263 the use of the 12-pointed royal stag, and 2 gentlemen in the Clan Mackenzie, when they took over operations of the distillery in the 1860s, brought that symbol, and that's been in our bottle ever since. So it's he's provided us the namesake. We've given him the namesake. He's the namesake for this whiskey, and he provided the Clan Mackenzie with this with our beautiful symbol that I.
And I also like that 15. A lot of people get into this thing of like ageism, right? And they're always like, well, what's your oldest? 15 for me in a lot of whiskeys, and even it's true for the Dalmore, is such a sweet spot.
Sure.
You know, you're using 20s to get other things into this whiskey, but
Mhm.
you know, when you start playing around that 15-year mark,
Mhm.
for me, it's like everybody's always like, oh, 18, 20, we're gonna do an 18.
Yep.
They'll say 18, 21 and stuff like that. That 15-year-old on a lot of really good whiskeys, I think just sort of hits the
I
mark.
agree. Yeah, I think it's a sweet spot. And the Dalmore 15-year, that whiskey is the whiskey I drink probably the most often.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So, well, let's get to the next whiskey because we have another pairing. Because Chef is crazy. But we're gonna actually do our first age statement whiskey, which is the 18-year-old.
Yeah.
All right. What are we having with the 18-year-old?
So with the 18, this pairing is designed to really pull out the flavors in this whiskey to not just complement them, kind of mimic them.
Okay.
So this is chocolate salami.
Yeah.
So it's
It does look like
it's made to look like salami. It's a very classic, actually, Italian confection. But what I put in it was specifically to go with this whiskey. So it's got fig and candied orange peel in it.
Wow. Wow.
And then instead of nuts, because Ryan can't have nuts and often will have nuts in it, and it just happens to also work with the whiskey, it has little bits of pretzel. So the salt, like the salinity with the whiskey.
Wow.
So this one is good before, during, after. All of it. Even if you just smell the whiskey with it, you can tell that they mimic each other.
But also with what
Wow.
you made, if you didn't like it's got one foot in sort of a savory and in sweet at the same time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too sweet. No,
Yeah.
or not. It would be
No.
cloying if it was because
Right.
of the flavors in the whiskey. I think if you put something too sweet with it, it would become cloying.
Wow. Yeah.
All right. So this is what this is what I noticed, and I don't know how Chef does this, and I don't know if she's grinding up pixies in the back or whatever the hell she's doing, but the finish, if you have this together at the right time and start chewing and drinking at the right time, the finish is the same. The whiskey finish and the finish of this food
Wow.
is the exact
It's
same.
true. Because the citrus,
Right.
fig and dried fruit, and the salinity.
Am I explaining that right? Right?
I mean, for me, yes, absolutely. And when you said the salinity, 18-year and older for us these are the whiskeys that get aged in our dunnage warehouses, which are on the grounds of our distillery. And with the 18-year, our distillery is on the Cromarty Firth. It's a large saltwater estuary, very long dramatic tide. And so 18 and older get sort of this maritime quality. These whiskeys get the maritime quality. So the whiskey itself is not salty, but there's something there. And the salinity in this really.
Yeah, there has to.
it's
Okay, so
incredible.
just so everybody understands, there's no salt in there, but there is a compound. They haven't really been able to like sort of define how it works.
Yeah.
But there is a compound that sort of mimics that salinity for us, right?
Yeah.
And you get it.
Mhm.
And then, like you said, with this pairing, that's fantastic.
Wow.
That's fantastic. And I got to tell you, this is like, it's one of those type of things I for a minute there, I thought you were giving me haggis, a slice of haggis.
Be really on the nose.
Yeah. Like, and then I would smell that. I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute. That's not what that is." And, but it melds into each other, which is insanely good. I don't know how you do this, but thank you very much. Thank you for everything you do. How's that?
You're welcome.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of this? Yeah.
Really tremendous.
This is a time where the whole is better than the sum of its parts.
Mhm.
When you put these two things together, it creates something that's above both.
Yeah. Both they're
Right?
Amplified.
Amplified. It just boom.
Yeah.
That's really insane.
Yeah.
Thank you so
So
much.
terrific.
Thank you.
Wow.
All right. Do you guys, is this the first time a lot of you have had the 18? Yeah. Raise your hand if you've never had the 18 before. Yeah, a lot of them. Really good.
Yeah. 14 or the 18 is about 14 years just in first fill bourbon, and then entirety of it gets transferred into the 30-year-old sherry casks for a minimum of 4 years. Yeah. And
That's long finishing.
it's long. That's long. Yeah. And God, dude, and I'm like smelling fig on it because of this chocolate.
But there is
but
fig
it's
in
there.
there. There
It's
is
good.
fig in
It's
there.
good.
There is fig in there.
Um,
Absolutely.
But also,
It got enhanced by that
yeah,
fig in
certainly.
there, but it is in there.
Yeah. Um, chocolate orange, that is a flavor profile that we've pinned to our whiskey for almost as long as the distillery's been making whiskey. This completely highlights it, but in the 18-year, it's evolved a little bit. It's become a darker bit of a chocolate. It's a drier, more bittersweet chocolate. The citrus that's in it is not maybe a fresh citrus, but something more preserved or cooked. And
That's what's in here. Is dry,
Yeah,
dry
and that
candied.
and
I always thought of it like orange marmalade. You get
yeah,
that subtle,
exactly.
like that,
Yeah, that's
right?
what that's the note I get all the time.
Yeah.
And and a less attractive word or term for the whiskey is dunnage. It's warehouse. It's age. It's something that and we'll really experience it with the 21 year. It's those when you start to get to really beautifully matured whiskeys. Uh, there's becomes these sort of little intangible notes that you pick up, that you smell or you taste, and it's
Yeah.
like, what is that? And if without getting too flowery or romantic, it's like, oh, that makes me think of like something at my grandparents' house, or it's some place that I have a memory from, and it becomes like it becomes it. What the way I kind of encapsulate those notes is time.
Yeah.
It's
tastes
just like,
like
what is
time.
it? It's just time. It just
Yep.
tastes like time. And I
You get that
visited
little mustiness, but it's not anything foul.
there's nothing stale. There's
Right,
still
right,
life to it.
right.
It's of a place. And one of my memories of visiting the Dunnage warehouses was there's a whole segment of one of the warehouses that is all Richard Patterson's barrels. And on a number of the barrels, he's just written the word time because he's tasted it and he goes, okay, this is great, and it needs something.
It
And he
needs
just
more.
writes
Right,
time on
right.
it, but that barrel goes there, and
Yep.
that I think is, for beautifully aged whiskey. Sometimes that's just the note.
Yep.
Is time.
Absolutely. Chef, you're all done. Can you stay up here with us?
Mhm.
All right. So
Drink some more whiskey.
drink some more. I didn't think I was going to get an argument on that, really, but hey, Chef, you want to drink some more whiskey? No.
No, don't make me.
Now I'm gonna go make chocolates and
No.
sausage.
She did all that. She's done all that. She's
No,
done
I'm
all
gonna
the
go
work.
do that now. Now we
Yeah.
switch.
You see you later, Dan. We're gonna drink more whiskey. So the next one up is the 21,
Wowza,
right?
wowza! What a treat.
Now this is something you don't get to try every day.
Yeah. So the maturation is similar between the 18 and the 21 year, and now that it's
What's the ABV on the 21?
43.8.
Okay.
Which number?
That
Number
is
number
Six.
6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
43.8. 43.8 is sort of an interesting number. That is sort of a hallmark of Greg Glass, who's our master
Yeah.
distiller now. Richard Patterson has now moved into distiller emeritus. Greg Glass is our master distiller. He spent many years working under John Glazer at Compass Box. And then
Those of you who don't know, our first bespoke whiskey with Compass Box, which was Rivals, that we did with Astor in New York with Daniel Fisher, was Greg was part of that team. That
terrific.
put it together.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. And he's a brilliant man. He has kinesthesia, so he kind of creates whiskey using colors. Not it's not performative. That's just how the man's brain works. And 43.8 is has showed up in a few bottlings since he joined the team. Because that for him ends up being he won't. It's not that it has to be 43.8, but I think that just hits a certain thing for him. And you go, Greg, why isn't it 40? And he goes, or why isn't it 44? And he goes, because
it's not
43.8. And
we used them when we did it. We ended up with one of the whiskeys was like I forgot what it was. Somebody else out there might remember, but it was like 1.4%.
Mhm.
And like, why is it 4? Because we tried 5 and it didn't work.
It didn't work. Yeah,
Didn't
yeah,
work.
yeah. And I think if you're someone like Greg and you have kinesthesia, there's a story where we were about to go to bottling for a release last year, and he was like, the whiskey needs more yellow, because that was like the flavor profile, and it was
Yep.
about to go to bottling, and he's like, it just needs more yellow. He went back to the warehouses, he found a specific maturation, and he said, there's the yellow, and then that got folded into the bottling. But the 21, like I said, similar maturation, first fill bourbon, and then just the 30-year-old Oloroso. Of course,
That one you can tell the
time.
time right on it.
Yeah,
In
for
the
sure.
nose, in the
Yeah.
definitely the nose.
So it's just in one respect, a 0.8% higher ABV in the 21 year. It is more time both in the bourbon barrels and in the sherry casks, and also there is particularly in the 21 year, and we know that the age statement that's on the bottle, that's the youngest whiskey that's in the bottle. At the Dalmore, we hold some of the oldest stocks of whiskey in Scotland, and because of the temperature in Scotland and how whiskeys mature there, often casks drop below proof.
Right.
And so there
You have to
are,
be careful of that.
you have to be careful of that. You can't bottle those, but you can use those whiskeys to bring the proof down in other whiskeys. So
Right.
we've actually used some very, very well matured, very, very old whiskeys that have dropped below proof to bring down the proof of the 21 year. So there's some very old whiskey.
Yeah, but you know what's surprising about the 21, and here's usually my like take on 21.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Here's usually my take on 21s though. They end up tasting flabby. This has
Interesting.
still got a vibrancy
Yeah.
to it at 21. You
Mhm.
get the time, you get the older whiskeys in there. They add a depth, they add all the stuff, but it doesn't become flabby. I mean, that's the only way. Like that's
Yeah,
the way to
it's-
describe
it-
it.
the finish is lively,
It's lively.
it
It's still got the
evolves.
lightness to it.
Yeah, you don't get that one.
Yeah.
That's I think one of the caveats of drinking. I think it's one of the. I love American whiskey. We were talking about it earlier. That's how I fell in love with whiskeys, was through American whiskeys. But there is something that single malt can do, which is just get really, really, really old. And
Yeah, I mean, if you do this, just you do this with bourbon, we'd be tasting one note. It's called wood spice.
yeah,
You know.
yeah, and a lot, and it's like a
A punch to the gut,
the
and
gut. Yeah. And so, like you said, from very old whiskeys, they can taste old, but then they kind of
Yeah, it's
kind of flatten out a little bit.
Yeah.
And this does, it's just still
a lot of
really
times.
very
That's why I'm
lively.
not a fan of a lot of older whiskeys.
Yeah, older
'Cause they
does not
don't
necessarily mean better. Yeah.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't. It just means older.
Yes,
sometimes.
it does. Sometimes just mean older.
Uh,
This is delicious stuff.
Yeah, it's different. It's quite different than the 18 year, although
very
stories are very similar. But it is, yeah, really lively and
I don't get as much fruit on this. A lot butterscotch.
Yeah,
No,
compared-
butterscotch.
yeah.
Butterscotch hits you in the face.
Yeah. Yeah, chocolate,
Good
Absolutely.
with creme brulee.
coffee.
Creme brulee,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Next year, creme brulee. Just saying.
You just have to be back there torching
Torching stuff.
60 mini creme brulees for
This
everybody.
flames going on all over back. I'm like, what's going on back there? All right.
Wow.
No, the next
The
two
dream.
whiskeys, we have to sort of, right? The next two, these are the ones that are just coming.
New.
New. All right.
new.
Who knew it would be new?
Who knew they didn't be new?
All right. So last year we had, what was the 2006?
The 06 and the 09.
9, right?
Yeah.
06 and 09. This year we have the 07 and the 010.
The 07 and the 10. And one of my colleagues pointed out, our first release of the select editions in the US was the 08 and the 5. And now next year, the 18 will be an 08. So maybe they got to figure out a new name so we don't get them confused. But yeah, the select editions are born out of Greg and Richard. This time of year, November-ish, they go to the distillery and they select casks for bottling for the following year. And they always find these really unique casks that don't have, there's not enough to make a full production run,
Right.
but definitely need to get out into the world. And also, so what they're doing is they're offering the world an experience of whiskey that you would have had to go to the distillery to try, and a 15-year and an 18-year that have completely different maturation stories in our traditional 15-year and 18-year. They are higher ABV.
Mhm.
We should say selected strength ABV, not cast strength, but a selected strength, selected to be higher, and are also non-chill filtered.
Okay. On the nose, am I nuts? Is this honey licorice? Like,
A little bit also pipe tobacco,
yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely that.
like that sweet pipe
Yeah.
tobacco.
Yeah. These new, I mean, these just landed a month ago, so these are still quite new to me. So we're kind of doing it all together at the same time. Yeah, spicy, almost like there's
Sweet.
like a wood, but like a wood smoke on it.
Yeah, but sweet. That's why I was
Mhm.
saying pipe tobacco.
Yeah.
Like that makes that sweetness to
Yeah.
it.
When did you taste it?
49.1%
Oh, okay.
ABV.
That's really good.
This is got to be almost one of the. Is this going to be like one of the highest ABVs that you've done? Because I mean, that's almost almost
That's
100.
quite high. The luminary this year was
Yeah.
49.8.
Okay.
Yeah. And the select editions, the 15-year, in other parts of the world, we call them vintages, vintage 15, vintage 18. We can't use the word vintage in the US as it pertains to whiskey. So select editions it is. But the 15 year is always a higher ABV. Yeah.
It's sweet, but it's bright.
Yeah. So it's got a definite brightness
Yeah.
to it. It's good.
Yeah.
And
These,
the-
all of our whiskeys, but these select editions, because the higher ABV have a couple of drops of water, if you haven't
Yep.
already done it, really remarkable.
I'm still getting that. I'm still getting that. Like, I don't want to say anise, but it's more like
Yeah.
like a black
I
licorice.
get it. Yeah, I get
Yeah.
that.
And with a little bit of honey too.
Honey for
Like
sure.
dark honey.
Yes, honey for sure.
Very good. What do you guys think of that? Your first ones to try it. What do you think? Yes? No? Maybe? Oh, good. Clapping's always good.
Yeah, with the water.
Like
But-
clapping for credit.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and that's that's what I love about these whiskeys. For the real, like for the people me and the people, all of us who are in this room, like the real like nerds, like the people who really love to like get down in whiskey and
Yeah.
like and
That's a
and
thinking
and
person's
and,
whiskey.
and really pick things apart. It's particularly if you're somewhat familiar with our bottlings. This is like this is just such a cool different experience. It's definitely our whiskey. It still has that mouth feel. It still has that sort of friendly
Got that DNA.
presence. It's still got our DNA. There's no
Yeah.
cocoa. There's still citrus in there, but it's different. And it is so interesting.
That's really good. I like that one.
And when you put them side by, I mean, you can't, it's always so interesting because they're always end up side by
All right, now
side.
save a little bit. No, I'm just teasing.
Yeah.
I know you didn't save any of it, but
And we get them in like a boxing, like
yeah,
rock
let's
them
try
and boxing
try it out.
whiskeys.
All right, last whiskey of the evening. I know I had to put in,
Oh.
but yeah, I'm sorry, but Frank. I know. Well, Frank, shut up and drink your whiskey. Right, there you go. Number 8, which is number 8, the 8th whiskey tonight is the Dalmore 2007. What's the ABV on this one there?
This is a little lower. This is at 46.7. Oh, and I should tell you the maturation on the 10 is of course bourbon casks, and then the 30-year-old sherry casks and Amoroso sherry casks. Amoroso is a cream style sherry, but it favors the sweet. So it's mostly the Pedro Jimenez with a little bit of Oloroso, whereas most cream
Like sweet nuts.
styles, yeah, and most cream styles generally favor the drier side and then are sweetened slightly with the Pedro Jimenez, which is the case with the 2007. The 2007 after bourbon casks goes into 30-year-old sherry casks. These are Apostles sherry casks. Apostles is another bottling from Gonzalez Bias. We also utilize the Apostles for our 15-year. That is a cream style using Palo Cortado as opposed to Amoroso or Oloroso. Palo Cortado is a lighter in color, leaner, far sort of nuttier, brighter style of dry sherry that gets sweetened with Pedro Jimenez. And the secondary cask on this is also Amoroso, that very sweet style. Usually in our releases, the 7 tends to be a little fruit forward and sweeter, and the 10 is sweeter and more fruit forward, the younger one, and the older tends to be a little leaner and more vegetal. And I think that might be a little different this year.
Eucalyptus with sweet tea.
Wow. Wow. Do you have kinesthesia?
No, but that's
That's
what it is.
amazing.
That's eucalyptus with sweet tea. I mean,
That's so
just
great.
the no on the nose. I haven't delved into this yet, but you get it? Like
I get a little
apple,
Apple.
little apple in there.
What?
What's that? Cake batter.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Confetti cake. Yeah. I was just going
Yeah.
to say, yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like almost like a sharp sweetness. There's a very sharp sweetness on the nose. Yeah.
Oh, that mid palate is awesome. It changes on the finish though. It really changes.
Yeah, it does.
It goes back to like that, almost like honey, like a honey tea now on the finish. Dare I say like, like almost like a honey, lemonade
Huh.
like that.
Yeah. Something.
Yeah.
Hmm. Boy, that approach on it is sweet, but it's like a very delicate sweetness.
Yeah.
It's kind of a
Oh
golden.
yeah. It's not
sweetness.
over. It's not cloying. It's not anything
No.
like
Wow.
really weird.
Right.
That, yeah,
Very
really
bright.
bright. That is.
That's really neat. I like that a lot. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me some of your like. Give me some. Just shout it out. Like what? Like you tasting this? Like what are you tasting? Thank you. So keep going. No, really. Don't stop. Don't stop. Come on. You have to taste something.
No wrong answers.
There's no wrong answer. It's you. What's that? Once more of it. Big surprise. All right. Anybody else? All right. All right. You had your chance. The 60 of you, no one could give me one word. Whiskey. Thank you, Steve. I knew I could count on you. All right. Listen, this was incredible. The pairings were, Chef, thank you so much. The pairings were awesome. Thank you. Dan, thank you for bringing these incredible whiskeys for us to try tonight. Just unbelievable. Every year, I think it's like we hit a high, and then it goes higher.
That,
So,
I'm so glad to hear it. This
yeah.
is also my favorite. I look forward to this every single year. This is the way
My
I close my year
favorite.
out. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is phenomenal.
So what a way to be into the holiday season and do an event like this. We really thank all of you for making this possible and having this with you. But we really do appreciate you all being here. I'm gonna go over a couple things. We're gonna say goodbye to everybody. By the way, this will also be on our YouTube channel. This will go to our YouTube. Cousin Vinny puts it on the YouTube channel probably tomorrow or something like that. On our YouTube channel, you can get it on our Julio's Liquors Facebook Live. And it's also actually it's going to be a podcast wherever you get your podcasts, like Spotify or whatever. Just look for "It's the Liquor Talking," and you'll find it. I'm going to say about everybody that's following us online. I hope you had a good time watching what we were doing, but you should have been here because it was awesome.
Next time. What a treat. What a treat.
Now let's get that off and then stop.